Welcome to Directory Opus Level 1, the course that will get you up and running with this very powerful application for working with files of all types, especially photos and videos. I know you want to find out what you'll be able to do with Directory Opus after taking this course, so that's what I'll show you first. The screenshot on this slide shows columns for the number of files and folders in each source folder. The columns are controlled by folder formats. These columns were displayed automatically because only folders are visible, and that's a great time-saving feature. You'll be setting up 6 folder formats, including this one. I'll show you the others later. I recommend gathering files non-selectively, especially if you'll be organizing all your client's files. But you'll end up with files other than photos and videos. You'll learn to filter files by type or extension, but that's only possible if you've adjusted the settings according to the course instructions. Now I'll show you how I filter files by type or extension so I can separate them out, move them, and recreate the folder structure in the destination. To avoid giving away too much, I can't show you the whole Directory Opus window, but here you can see the list of file types and extensions. I've sped up this filtering demonstration, which shows me selecting everything except the photos and videos in a real client collection of over 300,000 files. Now that all files except photos and videos are displayed, I'm going to select them and move them to a destination folder. And that's when my favorite Directory Opus feature comes into play. The folder structure can be recreated in the destination, but only under certain circumstances. Later on, they can be organized separately from the photos and videos. Now you'll see the process in action, but I did edit the video so no secrets would be revealed. I just selected over 23,000 files and dragged them to another part of the Directory Opus window. As the files move, the folder structure is recreated in the destination. I'll be organizing the documents and the other files I'm moving for my client, so having the folder structure intact is very important. Preserving folder structure is crucial for preserving any information a client wants preserved, especially since many people give folders meaningful names. This section of the video was sped up. Moving all those files took about 4.5 minutes. Now on the left are the photos and videos, and on the right is everything else. While it's important to preserve folder structure, you can and should get rid of unneeded folder levels by moving folders and files out of folders whose names add no value to the collection. Expandable folders really help with this task. Open a folder with an unneeded name, select the contents, drag them up a level, and drop. If you're organizing a collection that includes a Google Takeout download, you'll really appreciate the command included with this course for flattening that very deep folder structure. Now I'll show you the command in action, but I've edited out parts of this video and I've sped it up. The course includes step-by-step instructions for installing and running the command to flatten Google Takeout folder structure. As the command works its magic, watch the number of files in the Google Photos folder increase as the number of folders adjusts. Separating files by extension is an essential task because different file types and extensions store metadata in different fields. I'm opening the collection to display all the files. Then I'll select Files by extension and move them to folders I've prepared while preserving the folder structure. Many tasks, like duplicate removal, are done differently with photos as compared to videos. And after separating all photos and videos by extension, this is the result. When files are separated by extension, you can work with metadata more efficiently. These are the columns for the Movies folder format you'll create. And this one is for documents, spreadsheets, PDFs, and more. The default folder format will be activated automatically when only folders are displayed. When you open a folder of photos, the Images folder format will be activated, and these important metadata columns will be displayed automatically. You'll be able to sort the files by any of these columns and add other columns depending on the metadata you need to see. This is Details View, but you can switch to Thumbnails View anytime. If you're a photo organizer, you're likely used to working in Thumbnails View, but for most tasks, Details View offers great advantages. The course includes instructions and code to copy and paste for creating these folder formats. The Datetime Original column in the Images folder format is very important because it allows you to identify and separate out photos with no date in that field. In 2024, I convinced the developers to add that field, since date taken is not entirely reliable. In this screenshot, you can see that this real client's collection I'm using for demonstration included over 8,300 undated photos. If you're surprised by that, you shouldn't be. That's a lower percentage than I often see. Thanks to Directory Opus features, I was able to move those undated photos and recreate the folder structure, which means date information and folder names was preserved. This task does not take long, and if you're a professional photo organizer, you should be separating out undated photos in all the collections you organize. And this is the most accurate and efficient way to do it. Some of the columns for the Images folder format often include useless or redundant metadata. Sorting is available for any column, which will allow you to check metadata and delete unwanted metadata to clean up your client's collection. And when removing duplicates, why keep a photo just because it has a description if that description is Olympus digital camera? With the metadata pane open and one or more files selected, you can edit metadata. These are two of the metadata pane's 5 sections. And this is part of the Picture Properties section, in which you can add, edit, and even time shift dates. In the Document Properties section, you'll find more editable IPTC fields. I've shown you many things this course will teach you to do with Directory Opus, and there's just one more. You're looking at just part of the Rename dialog, which includes more options than I've ever seen. And the 3 editable presets included with the course will help you get started. But before you can use Directory Opus to do what I've shown you, you need to configure Directory Opus to make many important features and options available. The course includes instructions with screenshots for adjusting over 40 preferences, adding items to toolbars, and creating the folder formats I showed you. The value of this course lies in the combination of three important elements: my knowledge of strategies and techniques for organizing digital photo and video collections, my knowledge of photo and video metadata, and my knowledge of Directory Opus. Also, you'll save so much time by not having to figure it all out by yourself. Visit courses.photoorganizingstuff.com to become a part of the future of digital photo and video organizing.